From a distance, it might not necessarily be directly visible, but if you zoom in closer to the surface of our air intakes, you notice that there is a hard shading line across the surfaces, and that's always an indicator for a break in the surface smoothness. So here we're dealing with the result of a G0 positional curvature, but what we are shooting for is actually at least a G1 tangent continuity. So let's take a look at what maybe the problem could be. Let's go to the wireframe mode, and here is our curve, and that is used to guide basically those rings and extrude them kind of like this way. And you see that the problem we actually are having is that those rings are not perfectly centered on this path. They have a little offset, and that little offset is actually the reason why we're having that small, not very visible but still present problem. So let me go into Object Display and Diagnostic Shading, and let's turn on the zebra, and let's zoom in. And you could maybe see that the effect from here, you can see how it's jagged, is getting less visible to the left. That's because it gets closer to the curve. So now to fix this, there are basically two ways. We could delete those surfaces and then copy and paste this curve 2 times and position it into each center of each ring. That's not really something I would like to do right now. Let's see maybe if we can get away with a small trick. I'm going to move this curve slightly up and then move with my middle mouse button to the right. So now as you can see, the position of this curve is now centered along or inside this ring, and you might also have noticed, for example, if I move this one left and right, that the surface changes. Oops, wrong curve. Good, that undo this time actually worked. So let's go into the left view again, and middle mouse button, move it to there. Okay, and then let's turn off the wire and actually turn on the diagnostic shader and the zebra, and let's take a look. And as you can see, the problem we spotted there before is basically not visible anymore. Technically speaking, it is still somewhat present, but it is so small now that really it is insignificant. And to make, or to be 100% sure that really everything is correct, we could also, for example, select this curve. And I'm going into the wire mode, select nothing, and then I'm going to use inside Object Edit the Symmetry Plane Align tool and click on this curve. So to make sure that also the construction history takes care of that this curve is really tangent to the construction plane.